And here we are live from Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's Michigan Postgame Live. Hey, everybody. John Diadamo here, TJ Ronan, and Johnny Olden Jr. over here. And we're going to be rotating because we've got, folks, all of the Avengers here with us for Michigan Postgame Live today. From all the different channels on YouTube. So go ahead and hit that like button as you join us. Let me know if you can hear us. TJ, Johnny, Blue, Bryce's team beats Mays, Jaden Davis's team 17-0.
Yeah, nothing. Hey, let us know if you guys can hear us. If there's any audio issues, let us know because we are on a unique setup.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys can see or not because it looks like it's whited out. The stadium is behind us.
Yeah.
That is the stadium. I don't know if you can see that, though. I'm trying to.
Yeah. There it is.
All right.
We had it.
It's right behind us. But
big house.
Yeah, very fun game. There probably is a little frustration, so we'll just call it what it is. The offense was not as explosive as we wanted to see it, but you can expect that with the spring game. So TJ's low. Let me check my mic volume.
Yeah, check the settings.
The problem is we're on one camera. Johnny, talk. What's Johnny's mic sound like?
Is my sound?
Can you hear Johnny?
Can you hear me?
We gotta duck
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right.
How's everybody coming in? Let us know. While everybody gets set up, we are obviously just coming from watching the spring game live. Most of you who weren't there at the game will see it in 8 days with the tape delay. But we did see a game of football, unlike many other schools that don't do a full football game anymore, like Ohio and others. Sorry, Doreen. Doreen's here. We got Doreen here. Doreen's here.
Come here.
Actually at the headquarters right now.
We got Doreen in the house. Let's go. Hey, the flip is on, boys. The flip is on. Let's go. Hey, we got the NIL deal. We're putting in work, boys.
I love it. Absolutely. Transfer portal's happening. Y'all, so kind of high level. Most of the stats for the blue team kind of came in the very last play of the game, but I will say that the stats, I guess let's talk high level first on like the big change. Obviously, we knew coming into this game that Wink Martindale's defense was going to be the primary, was going to stay constant. But the Chip Lindsey offense is the new piece. That's the piece that we were like, are they going to abandon 12 personnel? Are they just going to spread it out every play? Are they going to continue with their identity? Are they like what is going to happen? And it did seem like with a very vanilla setup that they are planning to pass the ball and have a little bit more personnel out in space. But you also saw some bunch formation. You saw some kind of Michigan identity run plays with some of the with some running backs that we were like, which one was that again? And so there was a little bit of that.
Wait, what was his name?
Yeah.
What's his name? So they ran a running back, and I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know who.
Kudsdal.
He ran hard.
Yeah. So Micah got some run. Marshall got run. Justice Haynes got some run, and there was another running back that got some run. We can push this back. This one's not. Hey, let us know we got audio issues, boys. You know, we're trying to make this work on the fly. But yeah. Fair enough.
All right.
Let us know we got audio issues, guys.
Yeah. While we're working on that, why don't we
can hear us? They said they can hear us.
They said they can hear us.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, pull that phone. Yeah, I was gonna say pull that phone.
Yeah.
All right. Let's also stress for every $100, we'll go next shower here, boys. So let's do the damn thing.
Yeah. So if you guys want to send a super chat, you guys want to send a membership gift, you guys want to become members of any of the channels, then for every $100, we'll go an extra hour. We'll probably cap it around 3 hours today. But let's see what happens.
And also, Maze and Maniac will be making appearances every 20 minutes. We'll be rotating.
Yep.
We'll be rotating through. You know, like we're playing. We got 6-man rotation right now, so we'll do the damn thing.
Yeah, we got Jeez Louise here, everybody. We got Captain Stabbin.
By the way, shout out to Jeez Louise, all right?
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to Jeez Louise.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeez Louise. It's been great, been active in the chat.
Hey, shout out to Mike Layton, bro. Like,
Mike.
should we just call it?
Yeah.
All right, bro. We went out to dinner last night, and let's just say Mike he put in some work. We'll just say that. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Wink Martindale too, because that was a good time.
Winky. We saw Wink. Shout out to everybody that showed up at the different spots at Hellgate. You know, it was dope seeing all the subscribers, fans, whatever you want to call them, show up and want to, meet us and take pictures. Because honestly, it's love because we're not nothing special,
right?
Right.
But to get so much love it's appreciated.
Right.
Absolutely. So yeah, it looks like we already have
gifts.
Captain Stabbin with
50.
10 membership
Where's
gifts.
Captain Stabbin then, bro? Shout out to Captain Stabbin. Thank you, brother.
Wow. Absolutely incredible. So Captain Stabbin did that.
Let's kind of talk about
let's talk
about the game. So let's talk about Bryce Underwood. I'm sure you guys are all here for that. He had a lot of flashes. There is a play at the end of the game that will be a wow factor that I think you guys will appreciate. What was that, like an 80-yard play?
Yeah, at the end of the game, that
so
double flea kicker.
Bryce had what, 273 yards or something like that?
Yeah, the exact yardage was so it was 276 total yards and 187 passing yards.
Okay. Oh, that was total. Okay.
Yeah.
So the defense. So here's the deal, though. Defense played really well. Shamari Earls he was quite honestly, I would say, one of the brighter spots for the game, period. What other players stuck out to you guys? Cole Sullivan flashed. What else would you guys say? Who else flashed during that game?
Yeah.
Donovan McCauley flashed.
McCauley is huge. He's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, McCauley's going to be a problem. Jaden Davis had some moments, but you can see in his throwing motion, it's still a thing.
Sullivan.
Yeah, Cole Sullivan. Yeah, Cole Sullivan. That's what I said. I said Cole Sullivan.
One thing that I know, so Bryce Underwood, right? I expected that he was going to have some freshman moments.
He did.
He was going to make some mistakes.
He did.
And in fact, he did.
He did.
And what I liked about that is I was telling everybody when we were out last night, I was like, what I want to see is I know Bryce has an arm. I know he can throw the ball. What I wanted to see is how does he respond to adversity? When there's an interception, when there's something goes wrong, a fumble, whatever it is, how does he respond to that? And I thought he rallied pretty well to the point where his team blew the other team out, or shut it out.
And he knows everybody's coming to see him. So this was his first time. All the fans coming. Everybody's here to see Bryce, what he was going to do. So you could tell he was nervous early. They had some false starts and delay of games trying to get everything straight. But he seemed to calm down a little as the game went on. So
he had that delay of game.
Yeah.
And I think, that's the stuff we're going to expect. I anticipate during the season, we're going to see some interceptions. Mm-hmm. We're going to see some delays of game. He's got it. That's what he has to learn. Bryce Underwood has all the potential in the world, but the reality is he's so inexperienced and so young. He's going to make those mistakes. That is going to be the hurdle for Michigan. But at the end of the day, and quite honestly, we've had some Buckeye friends with us, and they've said the same things. You can see the pro potential. You can see that he has the ability, the mechanics to be, honestly, one of the top quarterbacks in college football. So there's no doubt that Bryce Underwood, he shined a little bit today. Now, I will say this too, though. It would have been nice. I'm going to be very transparent. It would have been nice to see the offense open up a little bit more. But at the end of the day, and I'm sure you guys agree, it's spring game. Mm-hmm. They're not going to do that. Chip Lindsey was not calling plays.
Right.
Wink Martindale was not calling plays. It was very vanilla. But at the end of the day, there was some flashes. There are things to be encouraged about. And I'll tell you right now, out of everybody in the spring game, how about this? Who was your MVP? Or actually, no, not MVP, but who stuck out to you the most?
Shamari
Earls, bro.
Shamari Earls.
You said the running back?
The running back was balling.
Cutstall was
he was balling.
Absolutely balling. And I will say,
who?
Cutstall. Yeah,
yeah.
The number 24.
Yeah. You knew though. I didn't even know he was on the roster.
Don't
to be honest.
downplay him.
No, I'm just saying I didn't know.
He was balling out.
I learned.
He was
today.
balling out.
I learned today.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting. I do think Bryce Underwood had
A lot of
He
flashes.
did.
some good
Like
flashes.
I'll say this, I promise you this. You guys watch the spring game next Saturday, you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's nice to have a quarterback who can throw the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Because like we did not have that. And Jaden Davis too, though. Like, I'll be honest. How do you guys let me ask you this. If Jaden Davis was this good last year, would we be in a better position?
Yes.
We would. He looked better.
Yes.
He still has a mechanical issue. He does. But he's very serviceable.
And this is the thing about Michigan spring game, because it's a little different than everybody else's. It's a draft. So you don't have a first team, second team. It's all mix and match. So if we were to have like the first team with McCulley and Underwood, the first team receivers, the first team offensive line, it would be different. But it's all mix and match.
Right.
So some of these guys that are starting for either team in this game, they might not even barely see the field.
Right. And one thing too that was a little disappointing is Bryce Underwood did not have a lot of weapons.
Right.
Exactly. I wanted to see
most of the weapons were on the
Mays
team.
Right.
Yeah.
So he had Andrew Marsh, he had Channing Goodwin, and he did connect. Like Channing Goodwin and him had like a kind of a thing going where
guy.
they were. It looks like that's his guy, at least with the people that he had in his team.
And Broader was like this far. It's like so many times it was just right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had that too. Yeah. So, so thanks for that. Yeah, I took those stats. So the stats of the teams. I mean it.
Yeah, just lay them out.
So the last play. And I just went through all that. And
yeah, I'm sorry. All right. Yeah, we got muted. Try to do it again.
All right, let's do it one more time. Take two. So the team stats, right, for the game, for those of you who haven't seen it, blue team, Bryce Underwood's team, 276 total yards. 187 of those were passing yards, 89 of them were rushing yards, 6 penalties, 45 penalty yards, and 32-49 time of possession. So blue team won the time of possession in and they won passing yards with that final double flea flicker that they did. May's team, which was helmed by Jaden Davis, 190 total yards, 74 were passing, 116 were rushing. So there's that. And a lot of that was that walk-on running back. Then you've got the 4 penalties, 26 penalty yards, 27 time possession. So the bottom line, the blue team came out victorious. They looked like the better team, but Mays had their flashes and just weren't able to connect at the right times, I feel like.
Did y'all like because we did see them throw it downfield.
Yeah.
They did.
Oh, actually a lot.
They
I needed to see that.
Jaden Davis took his shots. Bryce Underwood took his shots. There was some flea flickers. I know Garrison. Garrison, how the hell did you know about that, by the way? We're all trying to
fact.
It would have been nicer to see more explosive plays, but the defense really was just keeping the offense in check a lot of this game today, which is to be expected because it's a new offense and they're not going to show a lot, in this spring game. So I think the key points of the game are this: Bryce Underwood is far better than any quarterback we had last year. The offense looks to be more than just a running offense, and the defense, in good news, looks good. Although I will say I was surprised at the lack of consistent pressure, although there were a few sacks this game. Derek Moore got in the backfield. TJ Guy got in the backfield. Mm-hmm. So, the key names were making plays at the end of the day.
And they were the quarterbacks were making plays with their legs, extending plays and things like that.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah,
Johnny, that was big. Bryce running with his legs. Jaden Davis had a few moments, and I like the fact that they both had that time to be able to control. They made good decisions with the football when last year we didn't have that to the same extent.
Yeah. So my last point, and I'm gonna let Mays get it after this.
Tag them.
Bryce Underwood had a run that was. It just shows everything the kid's capable of. evaded the defense, got like 15, 20 yards on it, got the first down. It's those types of things that is going to separate Bryce from the other quarterbacks in terms of not only in the conference, but in the nation. I mean, when you look at his ability to throw the ball, you look at his ability to run the ball, it's just at a different level. And his mechanics, he's 17 years old. I'm just going to say this. He already looks like an NFL quarterback. Like the way he is in the pocket, his presence, like he does make some mistakes, like for example, the delay of game and stuff. But like if you look at the way he is in that pocket and his presence, you'll see him on Sunday. And on Saturdays, you will see that he will be on Sundays. But that'll be my last point. I'm gonna let Maze Madman get on here. Shout out to Wolverine Nation. Shout out to everybody we saw tonight. By the way, I'll be back on too. We'll be rotating throughout the night. Maze, you can get it. Intermission.
All right, we can do it.
Is there intermission?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am the Maze Madman. That is
The Maniac.
This is
Kinetic.
we are the Eminem Monday people, except it's not Monday. This isn't the Eminem show. That said, we are here to talk about our immediate reaction to the spring game. Let's start off with the start. Gentlemen, I'll be honest. If I was one of the kids that came to see offense, that first half, I was not impressed. In fact, I was probably nodding off a little bit, but what's your thoughts?
Yeah, man, look, let's get right to the meat and potatoes regarding this game. Look, both sides, it was a very subpar performance, right? But again, I don't put too much stock into these spring games. This is just, it's a practice. It's a practice for everyone to see. Now you have a redshirt freshman and Jaden Davis and the true freshman and Bryce Underwood. And we know the pressure for Bryce was going to be enormous, right? Everyone's out to see him. They expect perfection from him. That's not going to happen. That's not reality. So from what I saw from Bryce, I wasn't upset. I would have liked to see him a little better. But the point is this, man. When you see defense, I'm going to start with defense. And just like TJ, Johnny, and John said, Shamari Earls, he's going to be a a dog. He's going to be a dog. He comes up and he's there to smack you. Very similar, very similar to Will Johnson in his freshman season where he was a good tackler in open space. And that's something that we need in Michigan, and Shamari Earl's going to bring that. So, and they tested him today. Oh, he got tested.
Definitely. They were going after him a little bit. Kinetic, what you think?
I mean, I think it's what we expected to be, man. For the last couple months, I've been talking about the thing with Bryce is that he's got all the talent in the world, but he's not played against a defense, an entire defense of guys this big, this fast. That first play of the game, you saw that. The speed shocked him. You know, it's like the speed that the defense was coming at him, the speed of the coverage, he had to get used to it. So the first half of the game, that's what we were seeing. We were seeing him try to adjust to this, like in real time, adjust to the speed of the defense. That's something that's just going to have to come with it. But I mean, I think we saw a lot of good. Obviously, we would have liked to see more, but it's the spring game. They're not going to show all their new tricks and all the new high flying stuff. Hell, I'm willing to bet they told Bryce, hey, what are some of the plays you played in high school that you're comfortable with? And some of the plays we saw today were just those that he was already comfortable with because we weren't going to show nothing special. But you look at Bryce, he looks like a quarterback. He's got command of the ball. His throws are tight. The throwing motion is effortless and efficient. He's gonna grow into what he's gonna be. I'm not worried about it. With Jaden, I think we've seen him come a long way from where he was. He's still got some room to grow, but I'm confident that he's gonna be just fine. I'm not one that's been all upset about his throwing motion. If he can make it work, make it work. And the one thing with Jaden that I was really surprised by was he's got wheels more than people were giving him credit for. We saw him take off on a scramble, extend plays 3 or 4 times. He actually gained nice yardage on the run. So he's more mobile than people gave him credit for. Some of the other guys impressed, man. Shamari Earls, he got beat that one time bad. But aside from that, he looked good. His coverage was tight. Even on that one, there was Jaden Davis had a real nice throw down the sideline to I forget who it was to, but the throw was on point, and Earl's coverage without doing enough to get a pass interference was enough to slow the receiver down and stop him from getting to the ball where it was supposed to be at. So Earl's is nice, man, and I still stand firm that I think you're going to see him in heavy rotation with Zeke Berry, Jair Hill, and Josiah Edmond at corner. But overall, man, I like what we saw.
No doubt. Really quick, I do want to react to something in the chat we saw. We can't, obviously, this may not be touchscreen. But either way, wide receiver 1, there we go. Wide receiver 1, I think is going to be McCulley. We didn't get to see him much. He did make one nice one very big catch on the sideline from Jaden.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a
nice play. Absolutely. In between cover
and it was
2.
Contested too.
Yeah, it was in between the cover 2. So that was a nice play. Outside of that, I think he played like one more series, maybe.
Correct. So a lot of players didn't play much. We didn't see
clearly the best.
We seen Justin Hayes some good runs. The little bit he played. Jordan Marshall had decent runs.
Our guy Micah looked good today.
Yeah, Micah looked good. He's definitely looking like quarterback 3. Running back quarterback 3.
Scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
Just like John and TJ touched on, who would be your MVP? Give me an offensive and a defensive MVP today.
My defensive MVP is the defense in its entirety because I think they play very well, man. They look disciplined out there, and they didn't really make no mistakes. And even when the quarterbacks did throw deep, it was always in position, pretty much, the corners. And not that the quarterbacks look good throwing deep,
right.
With the exception, Bryce had that good one open, man, that one time, and he overthrew him. But again, this is the point of this. Week 1, when we play New Mexico, that's when it matters, guys. That's when it matters. And this is why even in the Ohio State spring game, people, Julian's saying this. I said, leave it alone. It's just a spring game. I'm not going to put no stock into that. I don't care if he went 0 for 80 with 17 interceptions. It doesn't matter. Regular season is what matters. But I think, overall, man, Michigan will be fine. But also experience. I would have liked to see Mikey Keene out there today. Experience matters, especially at the quarterback position, the most important position on the field. You have a quarterback who's good. Yes, we know Bryce is generational, and he's going to make plays because he's just that talented. But at the end of the day, man, we need more than a quarterback. So it's going to be interesting, how from here to August, how much they get better, and we'll see what happens.
He didn't really answer the question, but
I'll say this. I do kind of agree with him as far as the defense. I'm not going to say the whole defense. I'm going to say the secondary. Our defensive backs on both sides, the coverage was tight all game long. Even the passes that were completed, I think all but like 2 or 3 of them, the coverage was right there on top of the receivers. They were in position. It was good. Offense, I'm gonna say somebody that nobody's gonna recognize. I think Kuzdal was the MVP of the offense. At the first, when he was first out there, everyone said who, but hey, he showed out today. So he got more playing time than probably a lot of the starters, and so he had more opportunity to be that the name that was there every time, but he ran it really well. He was getting through the line every bit as good as we saw Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall and Micah Capanda doing. So I can't take anything away from him. Give him his day in the sunshine, man.
I think my offensive MVP would be Hoffman.
Hoffman, yeah, the tight end.
He caught a couple passes, including the touchdown pass at the end there.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'd be my offensive MVP. Defensively, it'd be easy to say Shamari Earls, but I like Cole Sullivan. I don't know. He looked like a unit out there. He was making plays. He was in the mix a lot. Yeah, he didn't play a lot though, but that's definitely I agree with that. But those are my offensive and
you mentioned Sullivan.
Yeah.
Sullivan is going to be a dude.
Yeah, he's going to find his way on the field for sure.
Listen, one thing I'm going to tell you off the rip. Offense might struggle early in the season, but that defense is going to be bad.
I got to mention this guy.
That defense.
TJ Metcalf was flying around. He almost had an early interception because he read something early, and it was like a 5-yard out, and he almost took that. He would have took that to the crib. He also flew around, made another play. I like TJ,
but it was Tevis Metcalf that made the interception.
Right.
Tevis.
Yep.
TJ almost had one early on. It was on that little out route from Bryce, right?
Yep.
Where he kind of jumped the route. But Tevis actually got an interception in the game.
I agree. Yeah, both the Metcalfs.
Yeah, they're for real, man. And I thought that TJ Metcalf was going to be a heavy contributor, maybe even starter. With Rod Moore, Brandon Hillman back there, it's like I feel like we're going to see a lot of the nickel rotation coming from the safety position. But so I think he's going to play starter minutes, if not be a starter. But Tevis, I thought he was, more of a depth guy that was, to develop into a starter next year. He impressed me today, Tevis Metcalf.
Forget all that. How did Link look?
Not horrible.
I thought the offensive line looked good overall today, man.
The O-line, I would say the O-line was
that moment.
They were getting more pushed than they were getting pushed back, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they had some moments. That I think was it like the Conda's first run.
Like a tug of war. They had moments.
Whoever that defensive tackle was was in. It's like he was the quarterback. He hiked the ball. It's like he was handing it off to Micah. So there was a couple times that something like that happened.
Yeah, and it was very vanilla, right? Connecticut, we mentioned that, and that's pretty much all teams in their spring games, right? Not just Michigan. So again, Bryce being that he's the number one recruit coming into the season, while Michigan had to pay to get him here. So everyone, if he sneezes funny, people are gonna make fun of it, and they're gonna do everything in their power to say, "See, this is why he's not gonna be good. He don't even know how to sneeze," So we'll see, guys. Look, I think you can see it, right? If you're a college football fan or football fan, period, talent when you see it. Bryce has it. He needs to work on things, and we'll see when he has all his weapons. When he has the shotgun, the Uzi, the AK-47, Macaulay. I get money, Macaulay. Don't play with him. So we're gonna be good, man. We'll be fine, man. But if you want us to tell you if it was a great one, it was good. It was not. They're gonna show it on TV next week. Get ready for a lot of trolling. There'll be a lot of trolling.
Then this was the game for you. If you came to watch defense, this was good. Josiah Ebbett was another player who showed some good things. He was really close in coverage a lot of the time. He was good out there. So I got to give those guys, like you said, the defensive backfield was very good.
And like I said, man, I still maintain. I think the four guys that are going to be in heavy rotation at corner is going to be Zeke and Jair, and it's going to be Shamari and JoJo. I think those are the guys that are going to get that heavy rotation on the outside. And I think the safeties. I think we got Rod Moore, hoping he's back, in time. But we got Brandon Hillman, we got TJ Metcalf, and I think you're going to see a lot of those just cycle through and rotated with the nickel position as well, depending on the coverage that we're putting out there. If we need a more physical nickel versus a coverage nickel, I think you're going to see the guys moved around a lot. But those are the guys I expect to see in heavy rotation. Also, the guy that's been taking snaps in nickel, Curtis. Is it Curtis?
Mason Curtis?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mason Curtis. I think you're going to see him rotated through there a lot as
Man,
well.
you can't see the big house back there, but we are right in front of the big house.
It's
There you
one
go,
of the,
right
like,
there.
Yeah, that's right behind us, man.
This is a beautiful backdrop. By the way, shout out to everybody who came out to see us and take pictures. Really made us feel like we were bigger than who we were. We are not that big. There you go. You can see the big house now.
Yeah.
There's Johnny out there.
Johnny Holden Jr.
Screenshot that. Someone screenshot that.
Absolutely. So, but I got to give a special shout out to Mike Layton, right? I think TJ already did.
Yeah, bro.
Mike
Shout out
Layton,
to
special
Mike,
shout out to Mike Layton.
He was the MVP last
MVP
night.
party night for sure.
And everyone that came out and saw us today, man.
Absolutely. My guy DK, who is in the building watching right now. Jay, also in the building watching right now. Doreen and her husband are here.
And even
Buckeye
though
fan.
he's wearing
That bio. Right?
we respect you
It's
coming in.
it's a good time.
You're coming into
I
the
can't
line.
name everybody. I'm gonna miss somebody, I promise you. But my guy Easy E was there. Troy, shout out to Troy who showed up here late. Juju was in the building. G
Mike.
G Boulder.
Yeah.
Mike was here. Les,
Ron Embry.
Ron Embry,
Oh,
Bowen,
Amazing
My
history.
man Tree Dog.
Tree was
He be on
there.
Tree Dog, yeah.
Absolutely. Who?
The amazing history on Twitter.
Oh, amazing history.
Oh,
Also,
Battle.
Buckeye Battle Cry.
Buckeye Battle Cry.
Shout out to Trey. Trey Fame.
JG.
Dre. Is it Trey or Dre?
Dre Fame.
Dre
Dre
Fame.
Fame.
Absolutely. Are we going that it was a Hellgate. Everybody at Hellgate.
Hellgate, not Hellgate.
And shout out to John of Hellgate as well.
Hellgate.
So we will rotate now, I guess.
Yep.
Give it up to somebody else. But you know what?
Get ready for the
Super
Shout out to the super chat. Elijah Bowman gave you guys a super chat, $4.99 super chat. Congratulations, Fred Moore. Welcome to the transfer portal. Getting Goodwin in.
I mean, listen,
Fred had like 2 drops.
I wouldn't say he's going to the portal, but Goodwin is someone to keep your eye on, man.
Andrew Marsh is somebody to keep your eye on too.
Lichmack said who's hiding in Columbus?
Who?
Lichmack. Who are we talking about?
Hiding in Columbus. Oh, I don't know. Shout out to Taves. He's also in there.
Yeah.
Everyone that came out, man, thank y'all. We really appreciate y'all. Everyone. That
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
that might be.
Yeah. What's up? What's up?
No, I'm saying like if you want to stay, just stay.
I'm good with whatever y'all want. Yeah, whatever
All
y'all
right,
want.
everybody. Let's read some super chats. We have a generous community here, and they've been super chatting. There we go. Okay, we're musical chairs in it over here at Voice College Football. Mace Man and Johnny Olden Jr. over here. GT with the 5. I put $100 on the Maze team to cover today. My wife is going to kill me. GT always with the great ones there. We won't tell.
Don't bet on the spring game.
Yeah, that's a good call. Thanks, Michael, with the 5. Who's contributing to let us know that our mics are good. So that's very nice of you. Thank you. Drufus, 7-month membership, letting everyone know, hit the like button. That's facts. Everybody hit that like button. This thing can be blowing up. We got 500 plus people on the line. If you hit the like button, we're going to keep this thing rolling here. We've got Gunner with the 50 burger. Great insight into the spring game from your favorite Buckeye fans.
Thank you.
N-O. There
OHNO.
N-O.
OHNO. Oh no.
Oh no, not again.
Elisha, congrats, Fred. Yeah, congrats, Fred Moore. Welcome to the transfer portal. Channing Goodwin is the up.
We got big news to announce after the super chats.
Okay. Let's see. We already got that one. So it looks like we got some repeats here. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see where this Nick is, of course, our resident recruiting director with the encouragement there. I'll just leave that where it is.
The spliffs? I got it.
Yeah.
We got him.
Of
Keep it on
course.
hush.
Of course, Michael Campbell in the house. Here,
Hey,
hate
Michael
watching.
Campbell, I just want to say this.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I respect your passion.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Doing too much.
CJ Carr is not better than Bryce Underwood. You're out your mind, bro.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It's not even close.
He's
And,
drunk.
and Michael deep down,
But I
knows.
do respect your passion for your team, brother.
Put on that Irish whiskey.
Elisha's been going hard at the wide receivers lately. Congrats, Fred Moore, for 3 years of nothing. Welcome to the transfer portal. I actually think Fred
Come on,
Moore's gonna have a good year.
Come
I think
on,
Fred Moore can have a
Elijah.
good year.
I think we need
Yeah,
Fred.
I think Fred Moore's gonna make I think Fred Moore's gonna please you, Elijah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we need Fred. He's got the speed. He flashed some last
Hey,
year.
one day Elijah's gonna buy a wide receiver jersey. One day.
And a Fred Moore.
I don't know if it'll be Fred Moore, but it might. One day you're gonna get a receiver's jersey. I promise.
Elijah, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. All right. Sell Fred Moore's social security number to get a wide receiver in the portal. Elisha going hard. And listen, it's at my guy, Fred Moore. I don't take kindly to that. Fred Moore's got talent.
Elijah's trying to hit that black market money.
Fred Moore's got talent, and you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it this year with the real quarterback. Tom Bouchard, Max Bredesen for Heisman. I think that's a very W take right there.
Did you see him out there?
He was accepting the award.
Okay.
He was out there to accept the award. Jordan, and I think this is Menace Jordan with the Go Blue. So we appreciate Jordan coming over from the Buckeye podcasts and the other podcasts, coming over to support everybody here as well. It's really awesome. So, okay, we're officially up to date on Super Chats.
We got major news.
Yeah.
We got breaking news. I told you guys I had a big announcement for the call-in show. All right? The big announcement is this. Starting May 1st. Is May 1st the first Thursday of the month? Get your calendar. I think May 1st. May 1st, Johnny Olden is officially a co-host with TJ Ronan for the call-in show. Hey, going forward, Johnny Olden, TJ Ronan, we're taking it fucking over. And guess what? The Buckeyes are cooked. They're cooked. They're cooked.
5 in a row. Here
We're coming for the next, son.
You know I'm cooking on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
now.
it's over.
So,
That show's about to be
to the moon. To the moon.
To the moon. So that's the breaking news. I posted that. I posted on the socials. People are like, "Oh, who we getting? Who we getting? We're getting Johnny Olden.
I'm on the team.
Johnny Olden, baby. Let's go."
I'm going to give TJ the spot here so you guys can chat about it.
All right, let's get it. So be on the lookout for the call-in show, May 1st starting. Let's make sure that date is accurate. I think it's the first Thursday in May.
It is.
It is. Myself will be doing the call-in show for forever, unless one of us passes away. Hopefully, never. But at the end of the day, we're doing the damn thing. So he's gonna be joining the Voice of College Football call-in show. We're excited to have that. Thank you, Johnny.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm happy to be there.
It's game over, by the way. Game over.
Like,
Bro, we do a show together,
and it's gonna be live. It's gonna be live, and it's gonna be lit.
Yeah. So you're going get it.
OSU fans, I gotta cook y'all, but it's not just about cooking the OSU fans. It's about more than that. It's about talking this good football and letting people know in the real way what's going on. No fake stuff, just
just keeping it honest.
Honest.
Because here's the reality. We'll own our issues. Like we will own our issues. But if we own you, we're gonna let you know.
Oh,
At the end of the day, like Ohio State November, that's a you problem. You got to figure that out, right? If we have issues on our end, we're gonna own that. That's an us problem. So that's where we are with that. I also want to say I see people saying, "Oh, TJ's faded." Listen, we've been going at it since 10 a.m.
Yeah.
10 a.m. And we're going out tonight, by the way. So if anyone wants to follow what we're doing tonight, I'll be posting on the social medias. Follow me on X. We're going out tonight. We're gonna have a good time. But we're just getting started. Just let it be known. I might be. Hey, we talked to Wheat Martindale last night, and I tried to get some a scholarship, some NIL, but it didn't happen. It didn't work out, boys. Didn't work out.
Yeah, we saw Wink had to let him know we love what you did. We love what you did. He's coming out the restaurant. We see him. I'm like, TJ, Wink.
I know. Bro, me and Johnny were sitting right next to each other. I had no idea. I had no idea Wink was. I mean, so the waitress, who was it who told us?
The waitress told us he was there.
The waitress told us he was there, and then he was there. And just so you guys know, Wink is who you think he is.
Fact.
The man you see in the press conferences is Wink Martindale. So respect to that. And I'll be honest too. We tried to be like, hey, your defense is fire, but he was like, yeah, all right. He didn't have no time for that. But shout out to Wink Martindale. Chase Winovich, we saw him today. Dope to see that. He's back in Ann Arbor, so that's good. But you guys let us know in the comments what questions you want us to answer in terms of what did you like, in terms of players that we saw today, in terms of what we saw from Michigan today. And I'm going to be very honest. So when you guys watch the game next Saturday, I think you're going to wish the offense did more. That's what I think. I think you're going to see the defense and be like, oh, we're going to have a top 10 defense. I think you're going to see that. But with Jaden Davis and Bryce Underwood and our running backs, all right, let me just say something that I'm surprised today. I didn't think Justice Haynes did a lot today. What'd you think?
He had that one run.
He did. I was hoping for more, though, Jordan Marshall, he had some runs, but he didn't break nothing.
No, he didn't. He had the tough runs like we saw kind of against Alabama.
Micah had some good runs today.
Micah, the running backs who stole the show what's his name?
I know. What's his name? We don't even know his name. Kuzal. Yeah.
He stole the show out of all the backs. Like, this dude was running hard like he wants a job. He showed it. Like, I want a job, But I didn't expect to see Marshall that much in this game. He's too valuable. I think Marshall is going to have to carry this team. I do. I think he's going to have to carry him early on until Bryce or Jaden comes along more.
Yeah, and so our guy here, CJ Mike, says, give me an honest take on the receivers. I'll say this. Donovan McCoy looks like a guy.
McCulley is a huge target. He's going to put in work.
Yeah, McCoy, I think I'm going to be right on my most yards, most touchdowns for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Browder, they were looking for him.
He's this far away. He's right there.
There does appear to be a Bryce Underwood, Channing Goodwin connection. There really does appear to be that. You'll see that in the game. Samaj Morgan,
same old.
Elijah might be like, Elijah might throw another $20 and just say Samaj ain't it, bro. But we'll see. I mean, I didn't see anything from Samaj. Fred Moore, we didn't see much from Fred Moore, did we? No. But also understand the best players are split, and I know you guys know this, but the best players are split amongst two teams. So it's hard to get a true grasp on what this team will fully look like. I will say this. I'm confident that the defense will be top 15. It's going to be up to the offense to be at least the top 40 offense,
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's hard to take much from our spring games with the mix and match. I'd really love to see a first team, second team, first ones-on-ones. I'd really love to see that, but it is what it is. But Browder, he had some flashes. Him and Bryce were like this close. It was like, okay, it looked like he had a fade, and then he dropped it. But Bryce, the ball placement was perfect on that. He had it, and he dropped it.
I think looking at the quarterbacks we had last year and watching Bryce Underwood play, I see a Sunday quarterback, man.
Facts.
Like the way he is in that pocket, his mechanics, the way he's looking, he's going through his progressions already at 17 years old, which is crazy. But I will say this: I think a concern we do need to be aware of is the lack of separation by our wide receivers. I think it's making it a bit harder for Bryce Underwood. I do know, and we'll give a shout out here to Chris Ballas. Chris Ballas has kind of talked about how there's a bit of a lack of separation in camp. When you guys watch the game Saturday, you'll see that there is a bit of a lack of separation. There's nobody outside of the last play of the game. Which, by the way, who caught that pass? Do we know?
Who caught that pass and took it like 60 or 70?
I'm not sure, but there was a play that took it about 80 yards. That was the only play where the guy really got that kind of separation. You know what I mean? And that's because it was a flea flicker, right?
But we did take some shots deep, and they did have more separation on those, but the throws were either behind, a little bit behind, or they didn't put enough on it. I know Jaden had a couple where he didn't put enough arm on it, so the receiver had to slow up, and then the corner catches up because you're slowing down. So that happened a couple times. Bryce missed a wide open touchdown because he overthrew it. So you did see it here and there, but it wasn't consistent. Like, you didn't see the consistency of, okay, the receivers are looking crisp with the quarterback.
Okay. All right, so we got 2 super chats. We'll all right, my bad. All right, let's know if we have any mic issues because we got some things going on in the background. All right, we got the Hambone 2-hour super chat. Check out the film on Sinners. Excellent. Courtney Harper, shout out 5-hour super chat. Drove from Arkansas. Needs to work on pre-snap because Browder was singled up a few times with no safety. More of a 50-50 ball situation. Smart. Yeah, I agree with that. We got to win those. And I do think Jamar Browder will win those. But at the same time, it's just you hope to have a better situation in terms of wide receivers gaining separation. Like, I know you guys have seen the highlights from Bryce Underwood from camp where he's just like he's putting in a bucket. We cannot depend on that. If we depend on that, we're going to be in trouble. At the end of the day, we will be in trouble. But I do think here's what we need to stress. Chip Lindsey was not calling this. This was not Chip Lindsey's full offense. And I'm going to say this right now. I gave shit to the Buckeyes about Matt Patricia and their defense. I did. And it does look bad. Okay? But they're not wrong when it comes to the fact that they're not going to show what they can truly do. Just like Chip Lindsey's not going to show this offense what it can truly do. And Wink Martindale didn't call any plays today. Although the defense was definitely ahead of the offense at the end of the day. But the good news is there are flashes. There's way more to be excited about than there was last year. And it's just, at the end of the day, who's going to win RB1? Because today, Kinetic, give me your thoughts here. Did you feel like Marshall was the true, like, did Marshall look head and shoulders above every other running back? No.
I wouldn't say head and shoulders.
No.
But I liked what I saw from him.
He looked like the 4th best.
The 4th best? So Maze Madman chimes in and says he looks like the 4th best.
I
don't know if I put him 4th. I would say top 3.
I mean, here's the problem, though. Micah and Kuzdal got the bulk of the playing.
Yeah, Mike and I know.
So,
right.
so it's hard to really judge it because they were starting out the beginning of the game when the offense was trying to get on the same page, trying to get everything firing. By the time the offense started actually getting stuff off, Haynes and Marshall were already out of the game.
Yeah.
So they didn't really have time to be in there to hit their stride with the offense. And you also got to remember something. I thought the run game looked good considering that they were not running behind any like a specific unit of the offensive line. Like, it's not like we had our 1s or our 2s there. It was intermixed. Some guys from the first team, some guys from the second team, and getting rotation from guys on the third team. So like they're running behind the line relatively well for an offensive line that's not used to necessarily blocking next to each other all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And all right, so let's give a shout out here to we got Cameron 2K. We can't expect 1933 Germany, but we can expect 1933 New York Giants. Go blue. And then I want to give a shout out here to Mike Layton, man. Hey, Mike, you're a real one, bro. We appreciate you. Like, we've been talking about you all night, all day. Shout out to you, brother. For those who don't know, Mike Layton came through big time last night for us. Shout out to you, man.
I'd like to also, in the same vein, shout out to Troy and to JV.
Yeah.
They know what they did. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of what we are. I mean, there was no special teams to, although, what'd you guys think about Hollenbeck today?
I mean, he was doing the kickoffs and punts, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I mean, his punts were nice. The kickoffs were nice. From what I've seen in the ReliQuest Bowl and today, I'm fine with him. I think he might be better than the guy we brought in from Missouri.
We'll see. All right, so let's talk about
if
that.
he can be consistent.
All right, I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial. So we brought in a transfer from Missouri, Bauer. He's ranked 93rd in the nation, boys. I can't say I love that.
I think he comes in and he's able to sort of push Hollenbeck for that position. But if I had to put money on it, I think Hollenbeck wins it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Hollenbeck did win it. I mean, it looks like a competition battle to me, but like, I'm just be transparent here. Why would you not go and get a top 30 punter? And and I'm not trying to listen. I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just being honest. I don't understand why you would get a 93rd ranked net punting yard punter. Like, you can do better, Michigan. Fuck it. I'm just gonna call it out. You can do better. They should have did better. And
no, we ain't doing that hail to the blue. We ain't doing
what
that.
do you mean? What are you talking about? Hail to the Blues.
Go Lions.
Yeah, go Lions.
No. It's skull
No.
bikes.
What the fuck? Next. I'm just kidding.
Come on.
I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying that's my opinion on the Bauer edition. I'm not in love with it. I've looked at his numbers, and quite honestly, Tommy Doman outplayed him. If you look at Tommy Doman's net punting yard average, it is higher than Bauer's.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, Tommy Doman was a liability last year for us. And so we're supposed to act as though that the Bauer edition was a great addition. I don't know. I'm just going to be very honest about it. Like, personally, I'm not in love with it. That's where I'm at.
I'll say this as well. Like, I forget what show it was that I was talking about the other day, but like, what I didn't want to see was us be so thin at the kicker and punter position that we had Zavada doing the kickoffs.
Yeah.
I also don't want our starting punter doing kickoffs, because every kick during a game takes a toll on your leg. By the end of the game, you can be fatigued if you're doing all of that. I always felt we needed to have a third guy that's not the starting punter or kicker to be the backup, but also be the kickoff guy. So, my opinion, I think they brought in Bauer to sort of have a battle with Hollenbeck. And I think whoever wins the starting job at punter, the other guy's going to be the kickoff starter.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see how that comes out. Hey, you want you next up?
Doreen's next up. We need to take.
Yeah, you guys need to take a picture.
Oh, okay, I got you.
That's some fan. You can take your sock.
right.
I'll be good.
I will cede
Yeah,
my
come on
seat
here.
to the queen.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. All right. Intermission, real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doreen, talk.
Oh.
Doreen, talk to the people.
I don't know. I've never done this before.
Oh, we have
So
to
I hope
do that.
everyone's doing okay. I'm a friendly Buckeye. And yeah.
Hey, we're gonna turn her blue, boys. We're gonna turn her blue.
No. Hello, Toes and Mike, and I'm just here. They need to get a picture with somebody, so they wanted me to come on. Just want to let everyone know that I am a true Buckeye. They're not going to flip me, but I really did enjoy the time here. And Johnny's nice, and I think they need a picture with you. You need to go out there. This guy wants a picture with you. And this is my first time, and this is my first time in Ann Arbor, and it's been nice. My daughter was like, my daughter in the marching band. She's been here 3 times. Won once in 2019, and then lost 2 times. But CJ Mike, and so she's like, "You're going there?" And I was like, "Yes," because I want to meet up with my friends. So you guys have been very nice to me. So thank you very much. Blueberry! I did not get to see Alford, Coach Alford. I called for him. I called for him, and nothing happened. So let's see what else. I don't know what else to say. I'm not usually on here. Anyone that is looking for a place to watch a good show, everyone knows I am a friend and a fan of Menace to Sports, and they are Buckeye centric, but they aren't always, all Buckeyes. I mean, Blue Wolverine is actually a mod on there. So, yeah. Oh my goodness, this is so much fun. I am so happy that I came, and like I said, I love my Buckeye friends too, but my Wolverine friends have been nothing but very kind to me, so I appreciate it. I don't know what else to say. I'm not a podcaster, guys. I don't know. Do you guys have any questions? Let's see. Oh, you love me. Thank you. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. I hope everyone has a really good Easter, and they're coming back. I love you guys.
Let's go, Doreen. No.
Okay,
You're saying.
let me see
All right, so it's me and Doreen.
Hello.
So Doreen,
Yes.
what did you think of the stadium?
It was very nice. Actually, I was told it was going to smell like hot dog water.
Yeah. And what'd you think?
It didn't.
It was beautiful.
It was.
Right?
It was. As a Buckeye, I can say it is a very pretty stadium.
Honest opinion.
Mhm.
Who has the better stadium? We know the
You put
answer.
me on the spot.
We know the answer.
Michigan does have a better. Well, even the bathrooms were nice. So I'm sorry, Buckeyes. I love you. You know I do.
Yeah.
But
And
yes.
you know what else? You know what else is Doreen's husband joined us, and he is wearing the scarlet red. And you know what? We were respectful. We were
Yes.
not, and I don't feel it would be I feel like if we came with our maize and blue, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember having a Michigan person at our spring game, but I have to admit, there were secret people going, OH.
Oh, really? Were they? Really?
Yeah.
Point them out. Who the hell were they?
I don't know, but they were closet Buckeye fans because
Their
they would
base
go up to-
investigations has
Yeah.
slides everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
So, all right. So, did you enjoy your experience in Ann Arbor?
I did.
All
I
right.
did.
So, how was your official visit? Are you leaning Michigan now?
I love Michigan, but I also
I
love my
what?
Buckeyes because I
No.
love you
Well, I
guys.
appreciate that. I
They're
appreciate
so
that.
nice. Don't anyone troll them because they are good people.
So, we're working on the flip. So, can we get your commitments to the Michigan Wolverines, Doreen?
No.
What do you mean, no?
No. I am.
Do I have to call Larry Ellison?
I am an independent. Okay.
Ha!
Independent.
Shut up! Independent. Hey, independent. Independent. That's a win.
And my Wolverine friend.
That's a win. That's a win.
But
Okay.
I've never.
She's still taking visits.
No, to be
You
honest.
want you to show the
That's
tattoo.
right. That's right.
Hey, tattoos can be removed. Let's not
No,
forget.
not
That's,
this one.
there are laser removal. Hey, well, where's the M gonna go? On the ankle?
Well, if anyone knows my last name, there's an M.
We're working on the flip. Mid-May, we are working on the flip. I promise you, we're working on the flip.
Well, thank you.
All right, well, let me ask you last question,
Okay.
Doreen. What are your thoughts, honestly, about the next game in November in Ann Arbor?
I think it's going to be close. I'm worried, as everyone knows, a Buckeye knows, that Ryan Day, even though he is the new and improved Ryan Day,
Is he?
I think he
Is
is,
he?
except for we don't know. See,
No, we don't know.
so when it comes to the maize and blue, for whatever reason, it's in his head.
Yeah.
And so I do hope and pray we win, but at the same time, I do know the best team for that day will win.
That's good. I agree with that.
Yes,
I
and we
agree.
have two new, quarterbacks, and it's going to be a battle. So
Definitely. That's fair. So the best team on that Saturday will win. It is in Ann Arbor. Are you? Let me ask you this. Last question. I know I said last question, but last question.
Yeah.
Are you a little nervous about that game as a Buckeye?
as a Buckeye, absolutely. Every game
Yeah.
we're nervous about. Last year, I
Every-
wasn't nervous. And what happened? You guys won.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was so confident that we were going to win.
Yeah, I didn't think we were winning,
So
and we did. So, all right,
Yeah.
Doreen. Well, I want to thank you for being a part of our
Thank you.
podcast. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Unlike Garrison. Hey, Garrison, what happened, bro?
Harrison.
By the way, Garrison said he was coming, and he didn't. So our
No.
community needs to hold that against him. All bark, but no bite. Okay.
Aw, I love you, Garrison.
Let's-
And can I go with Go Bucks?
no.
But
Yes.
Hell no. Hell
Thank
no.
you.
Go what?
And
Blue.
Go Bucks.
Whoa. Go blue.
And Go Blue.
Yeah, go blue. Go blue.
BLEU.
Hell yeah.
Love ya.
See you, Doreen. Thanks, Doreen. You're all right. You're all right. You're all right. All right. So I'm gonna man the ship until my co-host joins me.
I'll be back.
Oh,
I'll come back.
hey, you know what? Actually, Doreen, Blue Wolverine has a question for you.
Oh yeah, you gotta come back. Blue Wolverine super chatted.
No, come here.
Yeah, we'll switch.
All right.
What's your question, Blue?
So- First, Blue Wolverine says, "Hey, Doreen."
Thoughts on the game?
Yes. Then he wants thoughts on the game, Doreen.
Yes.
Honest thoughts.
Honest thoughts. I think you guys did okay. I really do. Bryce Underwood, he is a 17-year-old kid. But he's not fat, everybody. He has no belly. He must have had pasta
Like,
that day.
I mean,
So,
honestly,
he
no,
didn't. He
but
was no
honestly,
belly.
no. I mean, like, look, we saw the picture, and I'll just be
Mhm.
honest. It wasn't the best picture. It had to be the way his pads were,
Mhm.
because he looks great.
He does. I
Yeah,
did not
he looks-
see any
he looks
flab on
great.
him.
Yeah,
he
he
does look good. He looks really good. He looks like the typical athlete,
Athlete,
but a little
yeah.
better. A little better. I would say that.
I mean, he's a phenom.
So, Blue, I think your team will be okay. I think the offense and defense, they just need reps, right? And I think your coaching staff is pretty good. So I think you guys will be fine.
Let me off camera
So.
ask from here, sort of a question on top of that. You watched the Michigan spring game. You watched the Ohio State spring game.
Which one's better?
Compare TSC and Bryce from what you saw.
Ooh.
I don't see
So
that. I
Kinetic-
can't though.
Kinetic asks, what does Tavion St. Clair look like versus Bryce Underwood?
I can't because it wasn't a real game, right? We both know that. Is the
Yeah, but
showcase?
what you saw as
Are they both?
What's your
You're gonna put me on
Your
the spot.
thoughts?
I think Justin's saying.
Come in.
I'm not going to come
Yeah,
up.
just
not
what
gonna-
are your
all
thoughts?
right.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on
Well,
camera.
share your thoughts.
I want to say Justin saying is a touch better, but that's just me.
I think Justin saying is better.
Mm-hmm.
Tivion St. Clair is
Average right now.
he's just like Bryce. He's young, inexperienced, can't read the field fast
Yeah.
enough.
Okay.
He's got to let the game catch up to him, or he's got to catch up to the game.
Yes, but he'll be good. He'll be. But do I think Bryce is better at this point? I mean, I can't really tell because Bryce is playing a real game, and Tavion wasn't.
Fair enough.
So it's fair enough.
Fair
right?
enough. Fair
And
enough.
I met Tavion St. Clair, and he's an awesome dude. Okay.
The one difference is the spring games were played very different.
Yes, yours is the game.
Ohio State was just offense
Yeah.
against defense the whole time.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So.
Fair enough. So we got GT here. EJ Howland has now upgraded our chances of getting Bryce up to 9. Yeah. So for those who don't know, and I'm sure a lot of us do know, EJ Howland didn't think we were getting Bryce Underwood, but if you watch this channel, you would know we were getting Bryce Underwood. All right, so we got Tree Dog in the house. It was nice meeting you too, man. It was nice meeting a lot of you guys.
Did I meet Tree Dog?
He was with us. I mean, he was right behind us. He
Okay.
did.
Did I meet you, Tree Dog? Say yes or no.
No, you know what? I think you came later.
Okay. Okay.
So he was with us in the beginning, and then he went to his family, I believe.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yes, I missed the.
but Doreen did sit with us, which was very nice. It was very
She
cool.
did. It was
Doreen
good.
and her husband sat with us.
Yes, and I will.
And-
I'll post on X when I get home.
Yeah, and her husband did wear the scarlet red, and but it was all love at the end of the
It
day.
is. Okay.
You got Barstool
I
famous,
will let.
apparently.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Someone sent me. I'll send it to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll tag you. Yeah,
cool.
he is Barstool famous. They did because he was an Ohio State guy.
Do you know about this?
No, someone sent it to me
Oh.
on Twitter. So
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
sure.
So he's on Barstool?
yes.
Son of a bitch. All right.
All
very
right.
cool.
Bye. We're gonna go home pretty soon.
All right, see you.
All
All right,
right,
Doreen.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
good to see you. It was good
Yeah,
to see
here
you.
you go. Here you go.
So, as we were kind of talking about, guys, the game, I think you guys are going to get what you want in terms of, Michigan football, a quality game to an extent, but at the end of the day, the offense, John, what would you say? More to be desired, and it's to be expected because they're just not going to open the playbook. It's just, why would they?
Yeah,
Right?
it was very vanilla.
Yeah.
It didn't look that different in a lot of areas to what we've seen in like 23 and 22. But I will say more of an interest in deep shots. You
Yes.
saw more deep shots,
Yes.
which I thought that was great.
Yeah.
The runners did well, especially Micah Kapana, especially the other
Hey,
guy.
Can I give a
Kutzdahl.
shout out? Can I give a shout out to Kyoki?
Yeah.
Kyoki, if you're watching, I'm not sure if you. Oh, you are, brother. Actually, you know what? I see you right here. I didn't know this. Shout out to you, man. I wish you were here. I wish we could have seen you. Micah, I know you didn't get to watch the game, but I think you'd be proud to see him. He was out there a lot. He did get a lot of good run. He had some opportunities. He did break a little. And I think, he's fighting real hard for that RB3, Kyoki. So be proud of be proud of Micah. I think he put on a good showing today.
Yeah, the touchdown was great.
Yeah. He got the tutty.
Mm-hmm. He did.
So,
Yeah, I think when you look at it,
did you make notes, John?
I did.
Oh my God.
So I've got most of the plays written
Yeah.
down here.
At least one of us is a professional.
Yeah.
Well,
I
all right. Well, that's a alleged professional, but I think that what was interesting about this, obviously Macaulay did not play very much, and he's going to be an X factor, right? He did have a 34-yard completion, Jaden Davis, early in the game, but yeah, they didn't use some of their senior people through the whole game, which that's been the case before, right? It's in some ways it's a showcase for the freshmen, the sophomores, the up and comers, because they already kind of know what they have with the seniors. So Macaulay didn't play a lot. Samaj Morgan didn't see as much.
Yeah, they rotated him quick. They did.
There were a lot of rotations. early.
And to B-Dub's point, I was in line. The lines were crazy.
Yeah.
It literally took 30 minutes to get beer, boys. I did miss Micah's touchdown, unfortunately. And then obviously our good friend Blue Wolverine. Micah's a good name because his son is also named Micah. Shout out to Micah. But yeah, I mean, we did get to see. I mean, he got a lot of opportunity. Micah got a lot of opportunity. The other running back, who again, what's his name again? We don't know his name.
Kuzdal.
And that's our fault, quite honestly.
So I linked to it in the chat for people.
Kuzdal got a lot of run, boys. I'm gonna be honest with you. You'll see that when you guys
Bryson Kuzdal.
Yeah, you'll see that. A lot of us were in the stands. Were like, wait a minute, we don't know who that is.
Right, and we know most of the players pretty well at
Yeah.
this point, and so when we're like, who? That's notable. And so the question remains to be seen. Is this a one-off, like a Tavier Dunlap situation?
I can't imagine he's a part of the real rotation. I just can't. You know?
I would.
I just can't.
Yeah.
I put money on it. He's not. Although I lost $20 today.
Yeah. The first, because it was the pass.
Yeah.
Was it a pass or a run?
I bet on the first play of the game, and I was wrong. It was a pass. So spoiler alert, they throw it on the first play. I thought we were going to run it, so I lost money. So I got to pay Mace. But is what it is at the end of the day. The weather was kind of sloppy in the beginning, but it does get better towards the end of the game.
Yep.
What other key things would you say we should hit on that we haven't?
Yeah, I mean, the defense looked really good. Obviously, the Metcalfs.
Shout out to the Metcalfs, man. TJ and Tevis both showed out today.
Yeah, I think that was huge.
There were some big hits too. Big
hits.
hits in the game today.
Yeah,
there was.
Shamari Earls also.
I mean, I'll tell you right now.
Showing out.
And Juju was with us. So shout out to Juju. He did visit us today. Unlike Garrison. And by the way, Garrison, I'm bad luck, boy. Bad luck, my guy. I'll just say this though. Shamari Earls, I think he's gonna play, bro, and early.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
He looks real good.
Yeah.
So B-Dub has a question. How's the nachos and pizza? I didn't get any nachos, and I'm about to get some pizza here in a minute.
Yeah. I got us all some NYPD, so we're about to have some. I already taste tested the NYPD, and I can confirm it's good. One of my favorite pizza joints. In case you're out there and you want to sponsor Voice of College Football, let us know. But also, the nachos you gave me, Bull, were really good. And I tried to spread them around to people.
Appreciate that, Bull.
And that was very nice of you, man. Bull was there. We had so many members of the community show up. And Garrison's check bounce. Yeah. That's what it was. Absolutely.
Garrison ain't gonna live it down. All this talk literally yesterday. I'm gonna be there. No, he wasn't nowhere to be found. We were all looking for him. Doreen showed up from Ohio. He lives in Michigan, and he's nowhere to be seen. It was nice to meet you.
Yes.
All hail Michigan. Garrison soft as Charmin. Is that the biggest takeaway from the spring game? I think that's quite a big takeaway. That's up there in the top 5. Cottage Inn is another good one. So the original restaurant, I believe, is no longer, but they still have pretty good pizza. I just like NYPD, and since I was in charge of ordering, that's what we got.
I mean, hey, it's my first time trying them. In my honest opinion, they're good.
Yeah.
They're not really New York pizza.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly New York in any way. We have some picture taking going on. Let me see if we can.
Are you guys getting ready to bleach?
Yeah, there we go.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. All right. So while we wrap up our picture taking, looks like we've got Johnny joining me here. So apparently Doreen's husband is on Barstool, Michigan. So I'm excited to see more about that.
It's good.
What did you guys, those of you who were there, let us know what you think about the spring game. But I do think it just didn't show us that much, We didn't learn a ton. We learned that Bryce could rally from mistakes, which is good.
Adversity.
He had adversity and he rallied, which was good. I think Jaden's a capable QB3, maybe QB2, depending on where Mikey Keene lands. And I think the runners did well, but I still think we need to see so much more from the wide receivers. I think it's still. I've been beating this drum, Johnny. You know, I've been beating this drum on the wide receivers. We just got to see more. They were able to get some separation. They were able to, in some cases, get open, but then catching the ball still been a bit of an issue, right? And so when you have someone like Bryce Underwood, got to have some receivers that can clear it. So I'm curious when it's the New Mexico Lobos, how McCauley does the X and some of those other roles.
I'm sorry. We're
Oh,
gonna
of
go.
course. Doreen's leaving. Bye, Doreen.
Bye. I'll see you on the pod world. Now you know I'm a real one.
We know.
Hey, now what Garrett said, how you gonna let Posh show up and you got drunk on the good wine? On the good wine last night, my brother. Come on, Garrett said. You was hammered. You was Garrett said was a college football. But yeah, the receivers, they definitely, we have to get used to them making tough catches. They have to get used to being put in those positions because they weren't in that position. We barely threw it last year with Orgy and Davis Warren. So now that we're going to be trying to stretch the field more and you're going to be asking more of them, you got to get guys that are clutch and can make these tough catches, these contested catches, can run good, crisp routes so you can anticipate that they will be open. This isn't the NFL. You shouldn't have to throw dudes open all the time in college. Sometimes these dudes should just be wide open and you just got to hit them, you know. But the way our receivers are looking, you're more having to throw them open, and you don't want that in college. Now, in the pros, that's a different subject, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about college. We need these receivers to be open, whether it's off of great route running or scheme, preferably both great route running and great scheme. Now you're cooking.
Yeah. And maybe part of that's the fact that they kept things pretty vanilla, with the exception of you had a flea flicker in there, you had a double flea flicker, you had a play action rollout that was incomplete to Fred Moore in the second quarter. So there were a couple of like little trickerations in there, and a lot of times they worked, you know. So when they did show a wrinkle of what Chip Lindsey's offense is going to look like, it was successful. I mean, a ton of yardage was in that last play of the game, that double flea flicker situation.
Yeah, and Bryce put it on the money. I just really would have liked to have seen your projected first team receivers with Bryce for a couple drives.
Yeah.
Your projected first team receivers with Jaden Davis for a couple drives. I really wanted to see that. I know it is what it is, but you know, I wanted to see Bryce with McCulley at least. For real, I really wanted to see that.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
But one thing I will say, McCulley's body, bro, he's gonna be a problem.
He was a great pickup.
He's gonna be a problem for
Pause. Said his body, bro.
I don't do the talk. I talk reckless on here.
Yeah.
People that follow me know I say some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And until this pause came around, I got away with it.
Yeah.
Now I got
Now all
people
of a
trying
sudden,
to pause me.
right.
So it's like
Let me
I'll feel some kind of way.
like I said before TJ came in. McCulley got, what did I say?
Nice body.
McCulley got a nice body, a big body. I said it. I said it.
What we need.
So
We need that.
he's going to be a problem in the red zone and making contested catches. He's going to be a problem for other teams, mainly you, OSU, because he's got that body that we need. Because as soon as once he crosses your face and he's got inside position, it's over for you. You can't do nothing but get little boy. He's gonna do you like you're a little boy.
Yeah, for sure. No, I liked the fact I thought McCauley was a great pickup, right?
Yeah.
6 foot 5 inches, and he's good at getting separation. He's obviously going to be the X receiver.
He'll box you out.
He'll box you out. I would say the Y, you know, it might not be Samaj Morgan, guys. I hate to tell you, I don't know if Samaj is going to keep his job. Now he's going to have opportunities in the fall. He's going to have opportunities to compete, but he may lose his job. Fred Moore, I think, he's looking like your Z, at least in the first game. He's looking like your other outside receiver. So there's nice. No, you're good. Nice meeting you, man.
Thanks for coming out, bro.
So yeah, Michigan go blue 1, 2, 3, 4 with the $5. Our wide receiver room is not it. Well, I think they're making progress. I think Donovan McCauley is legit. I think you're going to see more. Obviously, there just wasn't a lot going on. And I think they're playing one of the toughest defenses. Like Bryce Underwood just played one of the toughest defenses he's going to face all year.
Those Metcalf boys,
Toughest defense he's ever seen.
bro. Those Metcalf boys are gonna be studs.
Let me get in the middle.
Yeah, you guys can. All right, we're going to rotate out again. One quick thing. Tree Dog.
In the middle. I just come over here and just be ready in case you know.
Hey, just knock out those super chats.
Yeah, we're going to knock out.
Do it.
Yeah, so Tree Dog says, shout out to Johnny. Nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah.
It was great meeting Tree Dog.
Hey,
It was great running into Buckeyes Battle Cry, another one of the third base investigation spies here to infiltrate the Michigan program. And then also, Nick, could Shamari play some receiver too? Well, hey, anything's possible if they see the talent for it. So that brings us up to date with Super Chats. We are going a second hour, so that's very exciting. Second hour is unlocked. And so with that said, let's see, who are we tagging in here? You coming in? Okay, second hour is unlocked.
Well, he ain't trying to find.
All right. Don't write a whole paragraph.
All right, everybody. Here we go. We got Maniac coming in. We're gonna have anybody can take my spot.
I'll go over. Y'all sign PK tap?
Oh, no. I didn't know.
So look, man, let's get back to it. So the main thing here, everyone came, right? We wanted to see Bryce, right? We wanted to see superhero Bryce, right? But we didn't get a superhero Bryce. We got a human Bryce. Not bad, not a horrible game. I think he played an okay game. And
they didn't let them run. Like,
yeah, and it was vanilla. Look, no Hogan Hansen,
Right.
our top tight end. Beside Marlon Klein, I think he played
Right.
barely.
You see Priestcorn? No
Priestcorn
Priestcorn?
didn't play. So, a lot of guys didn't play, and a lot of guys play very minimum starters. So it is what it is. It's fine. What I would say to my fellow Michigan fans, let the fellow opposing fan bases troll. Let them get their fun. Because Ohio State, what have they done to us?
Right.
Nothing. 4 in a row. And 5 is coming.
Five is
me.
coming.
5 is coming. So this is all they got, my fellow Michigan fans. This is look at Bryce, you're turning me win.
I fully expect people to be in the trolling in the comments,
Yeah.
all of that. Because again, man, it wasn't an offensive explosion by any means, right? But I don't know if anybody was necessarily expecting that. I do think people were expecting it to be a more cohesive cohesive offensively.
Correct.
It wasn't necessarily that either, but what it was a learning opportunity, right? Has Bryce played in front of 60,000 people before, right?
No.
There's a lot of those freshmen, and in terms of Bryce, I know he's played in front of a lot of people because he's won state championships and things like that. But people like Jamar Browder, who dropped one in the end zone, right? A fade. Has he played in front of 60,000 people before? Andrew Marsh, the list goes on. It's a lot of young guys that were getting a lot of playing time, including Shamari Earls. So I expect them to only get better after this point. This was a great learning opportunity for a bunch of the players.
Yeah, and you know what? Perfect. That's what I forgot. The big brother. Listen, exactly. If Bryce would have went 18 for 24, oh, you're celebrating the spring game? Oh my God. So you wasn't gonna win. Michigan wasn't gonna win regardless.
That's a fact.
The fact there is, you know, we're coming for blood this season. And I'm going to tell you, that defense, they going to be lights out, man. And anybody knows about Con Edison, it's going to be lights out. Yeah.
Yeah. And shout out to Juju, who was there listening to his man Drake get smacked by the PA system playing all that Kendrick. Now I'm joking, but he, you know, he does make a point. You know, McCulley looks like he's wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
You got Fred Moore, who dropped a couple. I'm gonna be honest with you. He dropped a couple
easy ones,
right? And then there was Andrew Marsh. I think he's gonna get a lot of playing time too. Jamar Browder, I think, is gonna get a lot of playing time. You know, he did, like I said, have the one mishap in the end zone, but he's a big guy, and he got loose down the sideline on a ball that was oddly thrown, hit him like on the back shoulder, right? But you know, if he makes that play, then his numbers look different. Bryce's numbers look different.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it was plays like that, and Bryce had a lot of those drops were Bryce passes, right? The Fred Moore joint is those are Bryce passes. The Jamar Browder, both of them, Bryce passes. So, you know, it is what it is, man. We got a super chat from my guy Tree Dog. He says, "Maniac, how'd you feel about Metcalf brothers?"
Yo, listen, those were huge additions to that secondary. Ball hawks, aggression, and that's what the Michigan secondary defense in the nutshell is, man. We want to be an aggressive defense. We want to put you to sleep, nap time, long sleep. However, we just want to put you there. And listen, man, they come from the SEC, man. We know they sometimes they make the SEC to be like the NFL, but at the end of the day, they played against elite competition. So coming to the Big Ten, you know, they gonna be fine. And I love what I saw, man. And let's look at this, right? Michigan's offense should look similar to this against New Mexico. McCulley, Samaj, and Fred Moore might be the beginning. I don't think that's going to be the 3 for the whole season, but I think when we take the field against New Mexico, then you're going to have Marlon Klein, a lot of Hogan Hansen, right? And, of course, Hayes and Marshall. The offensive line is still working itself out. So, Bryce is going to be much better. Expect the playbook to be obviously to be more. We didn't really see much. So, I'm not going to say I was excited, super excited, but I was satisfied, to say the least. Yeah. Satisfied. It's like you meet a girl on the first date, man, and it's like, okay, she just kisses you, man. Okay, I'll take that. She's beautiful. I ain't gonna score the touchdown here, but I got time. And Michigan, we have time, guys. We have another 4 months. Bryce is only going to get better. He understands, man. The pressure's enormous for him. That's another thing we got to take into account. And I say this to my fellow fans. If Bryce struggles, because he's going to have his moments this season, bro, we got to just bear with him, man, and just support him. But, this is sports, and everybody's not patient, unfortunately.
Shout out to 23 Tells. He said, I just signed on the Bryce evaluation was what? Bryce looked like a true freshman. That's my evaluation of him. He had, and also take into account, right? He was getting pressure, right? And in these spring games, you're not, as the quarterback, you're not necessarily supposed to take off and run. There were opportunities for him to do that, and I'm sure he wanted to do that. He did do it once or twice, but in other situations, he's got to stand in there, try to throw the ball, and he did that, and sometimes it wasn't as accurate as you would like it to be, or accurate at all. He had a play with Channing Goodwin, I believe, came open, streaking down the field. He overthrew him by about 5 yards. Yeah. That said, he does seem to have chemistry with Channing Goodwin.
Yes.
They connected on a couple digs or comebacks, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And they seem to have some chemistry. And even in the plays that we saw before this spring game, the ones that they were releasing, he and Channing Goodwin seem to have some chemistry.
So let me ask you this. Based on what you saw from Bryce today, how would you rate his performance on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being an excellent game?
I think it was a 2, 1.5, 2.
Okay, that's fair.
It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. 2.5. It could be a 2.5.
Johnny.
It wasn't a 3.
2.5. Maybe 3.
John, what you say?
Yeah, I'm with you, 2.5.
2.5.
I mean, he didn't have the starting receiver.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think not having McCulley on his team was a problem.
But we also want to see, right? That is true. But let's just say McCulley gets injured this season. Then you got to work with what you got. So that's why you still want to kind of see that. But like the good thing is that Goodwin chemistry.
5 out of 10 from the Bull.
Oh, 5 out of 10. Okay.
Shout out the Bull will win.
That's
somehow
pretty much
still
the same.
figured out a way to be shirtless out there. Shout out to him. That was excellent.
Yeah, man. But I say this, guys. You know, we out here, man. Again, you know, shout to everybody every Michigan fan that tuned in to the spring game.
Yes, sir.
You know, we out here. You see this. We want to make this a yearly tradition. For those who wasn't able to make it this year, hopefully you can make it next season, and we could get up with you guys. And perhaps we have a setup where we can even have you guys participate here in the podcast. We'll give you about a minute or two to tell us how you feel about the game, and you know, we'll just keep it rotating. But you know, anything else you want to add, Maze?
Yes. I was just thinking of it, but then I don't know what's happening out there. It sounds like an altercation.
It's altercation.
But no, like my guy said, we got to give a shout out to everybody who showed love, man. We are not celebrities. All right. I want to make that clear. I don't feel like a celebrity at all. I know I'm not a celebrity at all, but the love that they showed us out here in A2, the love that was shown at this spring game was amazing. We received it all. We love all the love that we received, man. Shout out to each and every one of you. That said, we also had some opportunities to network with some new people. That was great. Ran into Hitman Hillman's mother right out front here. Had a great interaction there. That was great. So
shout to Mama Hillman.
Shout out to Mama Hillman, right? Who said she was going to dunk on Maniac.
I told her, don't play with me. I want stop.
She don't know what she does. That's what's up, man. But yeah, it was a good time, and we appreciate everybody who came out. But back to the football. I don't want to lose sight on this. Remember, they were playing on a Michigan defense too, right?
Listen,
it's not like he went out here and got the scrimmage against right.
Did you guys touch on the kicking game? We know that wasn't Zapata, but bro, we got to make sure nothing happens to Zapata. We got to
protect him at all costs.
That was bad. That was bad. That kicker looked bad. That backup kicker.
Yeah, it was not.
I don't know if he was. So he was just making popcorn. They say, "Yo, come on, man, this is your opportunity." And he went 1 for 3. He hit a Mickey Mouse one. The longer ones, no. Someone early in the chat mentioned something about was the wind. No, it was the weather. It was slight wind, but nothing. Yeah. It wasn't windy.
Second half, it really beautiful. Was quite nice, right? It was pleasant out there. Yeah. By the way, if Kiyoki is in the chat, Kiyoki, I tried to send you video of Micah's touchdown. I have it. I'm gonna send it to you now once we get off. But I was trying to send it to you in the stadium. It was not happening.
Touch on Capana. Capana
looked good, man. His first run, he probably ran for it. You know, now granted he got away from a tackle, and if he'd have broke that next tackle, he's still running, right?
Yes.
But you know, he looked good. He looked shifty. Horizontally, laterally, he's amazing. So yeah, let's get to the super chat. Shout out to 23 Tells, who says, "Y'all my celebrity. Might meet y'all next year up there, going to Wisconsin, Oklahoma from Arkansas this year. Shout out to Johnny O. Shout out to Johnny, who's sitting right here, by the way.
Yeah,
and thank you for the $20 super chat. 23 Tells.
Johnny, he must have signed like 82 autographs.
Yeah,
man.
Johnny was just signing autographs.
Yeah, he just
literally signing autographs.
I had to choke. I'm sorry, I had to choke like an 11-year-old. I'm like, yo, get off.
There's
Johnny.
Kiyoki. All good. Please do, brother. Yes, sir. I got you. No doubt, man. I'm definitely sending you.
Did you guys give a shout out to Tim?
Yeah, we seen Tim.
No, we said, but here.
Oh man, shout out to Thunder Redmond, my guy Tim. You shout out Ron?
Ron Henry. I did it earlier.
Right.
Shout out to Ron. Mike, I see Mike.
GT, the funniest man in the comment section, period, says, how excited did the Buckeye fans get when they saw that Wink Martindale passed away Tuesday? Shout out to GT, man.
Yeah.
My guy, Easy E.
Easy.
Bryce Smith still look better than anything we got last year. That's a
true.
Snapple top fact.
And y'all mentioned it.
Shout
I know
out to
one of
Easy.
you guys was saying, I don't know if it was Johnny or John, y'all mentioned about Rose. Like, okay, like, yeah, they didn't connect, but they look good, better than what we saw. And we know we'll be able to stretch the field this year, right? A defense ain't going to be able to load the box. Now, by it, they still want to see, they're going to want to see it from Bryce still. So they might bait him. Like, okay.
Something we didn't see that I still want to see that I hope Michigan does do. Halfback screens.
Oh, fact.
Just a halfback screen, especially with somebody like Kaipana. Halfback screen, let's get it. We didn't see that in the spring game. Now, granted, you probably don't see that a lot in the spring game because that's a lot of linemen moving and blocking down the field. But yeah, shout out my guy Les who was there.
Yeah, he said do a wellness check on Marmar.
Yeah,
he did.
Bro,
he called us, bro, for like 4 days straight. He called in. You in Detroit today?
I don't know what's up with Marmar. Shout out to Marmar.
Yeah, anybody, you know.
Good? Now you ready?
If you need me,
Yeah, let's come on.
We about listen.
It's about time that we switch it up.
Yeah, but anyway, man, guys, thanks again. Kinetic gonna come here. He gonna talk about Michigan State now.
I ain't doing nothing wrong. Who jumping out?
Get in there,
Johnny.
Johnny. The fire.
They already looking for you,
Johnny.
You're the star of the day.
No.
Johnny's the all-star from our team.
No.
We're just the supporting cast.
That's true.
I'm just here.
He's Kobe. I'm Raja Bell.
Not Raja. Raja had the lockdown defense. But the big takeaway to me was it's a work in progress with the new offensive scheme with Chip Lindsey, learning his scheme and figuring out who are the go-to receivers, who has the chemistry with Bryce and Jaden. Since it's a mixed match, they had the draft for the spring game. You know, just trying to figure out who's the go-to guys and what exactly is the bread and butter of the offense. This was vanilla. Like, it wasn't like
100%. I think they went into this listen, I don't have any intel telling me this is true, okay? But my opinion from watching it, I think what we saw was literally the offense from last year plus the plays Bryce knew from high school.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything outside of that we didn't see on Michigan's tape last year or Bryce's high school tape. And I think that was intentional. I do think that Bryce has an undeniable connection with Channing Goodwin.
Yeah.
I mean, all the clips that have been coming out, even before they drafted the teams, it's like 80% of the clips are him throwing to Channing Goodwin. In the game today, it looked like he was most comfortable with the timing with Channing Goodwin. So we may see Channing Goodwin, just because of that chemistry, move up the depth chart.
Exactly. Because every quarterback has their favorite receiver, and it looks like Goodwin might be Bryce's favorite. You know, don't even read the super chat.
All right, GT with a $5 super chat. Marmar and Garrison got the wrong address and hung out together in Ypsilanti.
Marmar and Garrison, they on that full of that wine.
I love that. That's awesome.
But yeah, you know, what we saw, and one thing that I'm just happy to see is trying to stretch the field. Last year, we didn't even see them try to stretch the field. Like, after the first couple games, it was like, all right, don't even try it. You know, so it's good to see that. So those safeties aren't in the box, sitting on all those short routes and stuff in the run. You know, stretch the field, let them know we will try it, and that we actually do have guys. Like, it's so early right now. A lot of these receivers are freshmen, and they're new to the team. So this is real early. They're going to have 4 more months to grind it out, get better, get used to each other, and build the what's the word?
Chemistry.
Build the chemistry.
Yeah.
Build that chemistry up so you know the timing is on point. Because it was close. Like, they threw a nice amount of deep balls, and it was right there. It was just the timing was just off a little bit. And there was like a swirling wind a little bit early, and then it kind of faded. But it's just like they need more practice, and it's gonna be on point. Like you can see it's almost there.
Yeah, I mean, I think people underestimate the value of having that timing connection with your receivers. Like, and Bryce has been on. You know, he's an early enrollee, but he's had a pretty like hectic schedule since he got there. He was there for the bowl practices. He's had the spring camp, enrolling in school and everything. I think over the summer, that's when you see a lot of these guys get together for their own private workouts between them. And a lot of times it's the quarterbacks and receivers spending hours just getting their timing down. So for the quarterback to learn each receiver's how they move, when they cut, the speed of them coming out of their cuts, stuff like that. And I think that to this point, we've seen Bryce sort of build that chemistry a little bit with Channing Goodwin, a little bit with some of the other guys, but that's going to improve greatly over the course of the summer. And like I've been saying for months, the biggest deal for Bryce, especially if we're looking at him to start, is to get the speed of the college game. There's not a single team that he has played in his high school career where he played against an entire defense. Sometimes he might have played against a defense that had one or two of these guys, one or two college level players, but he's never played a top level college defense. The speed, the power, their size, you could see on the first play of the game that it shook him because like he was not ready for the speed of the pass rush and the speed of the coverage. And you could see it in the early throws where he wasn't processing and reading the coverage because that coverage is faster. Our DBs were on point today. The coverage was tight. So he's got to acclimate to the speed of the game. That's always been my benchmark. When we were talking about Mikey Keene possibly starting, and even now, if we got to look at Jaden Davis, maybe my benchmark for Bryce starting is that they need to go at him full speed in practice a lot over this offseason and get him to where he can process and adapt and adjust and react at the speed that the game is. If he can't do that, I don't want him starting week one, no matter what his ceiling is. But if he can, we're going to be good, man. Because outside of that, he looked like a starting quarterback. His movements, everything, it was crisp, it was efficient. He's just got to get acclimated to the college game.
Another thing that both quarterbacks have to get better at and learn, and we're going to have to deal with that this year regardless. Whichever one of them starts, it's the managing the game, managing the play clock, getting the play in, getting everybody in their stance and being able to manage that with making your checks and your calls and having everybody on point, because you can't afford to get these delay of games and false starts because guys aren't in position, guys aren't ready because you're not getting the play in fast enough and things like that. The managing the game, being that general, like both guys have to, they got to work on that. But it's expected because neither one of them have actually played in a college game.
Yep. And I mean, 9 out of 10 times in spring ball, the defense is able to get off to a faster start than the offense. It's been the case nearly every year. So I wouldn't take too much about that other than our defense looked good. I think our offense will catch up. But this is not the offense or the season off season to go light in practice. We need to go full speed.
Let me ask you this.
What's up?
Last year's offense in the spring game looked better than this year's offense. You can make it. I mean, we look better throwing the ball, but
Made some throws.
So I don't know if I'd say better. I'd say they were roughly the same with a slightly different game plan. I think that they protected the quarterbacks very much last year, a little bit more than I think they did this year. They were willing to let them take shots this year. I think, we saw probably 8, 9, 10 deep shots today. Last year we saw like 2. So, and last year was a lot about the running backs and Donovan returning and all that, and Colston Loveland, the tight ends like that. So, I mean, I think this year is more wide open for people to step up, and they were letting people go out there and make their case for starting position or for that depth chart, moving up the depth chart. So, but I'd say they're about the same, but they're different.
Yeah.
What's this? Let's see. Kinetic and Johnny, do you have any concerns after seeing the spring game in person? What about you?
Pretty much the same concerns that I had, because the offensive line is my biggest worry, regardless, because whether we're trying to make a quarterback a game manager, that means you need your offensive line to be able to run block really, really well so your running backs can eat. So with the spring game, the mix and match, it's not a first team offensive line. It's not even the second team. It's all mixed.
Some first, some second, with even some of the third team guys sprinkled in.
Exactly. So I've still got the same questions about the offensive line, that they're going to be there until the first game. Like, we're just going to have to accept that, but the fact that you have quarterbacks that can make these a higher level of throw than last year, that's a plus right there, because Bryce can make the throws, and Jaden Davis can make some throws. He looked pretty good here and there. He flashed. So the fact that you got guys that can make every throw, that's gonna raise the caliber of this team, raise the ceiling of the team.
Well, I mean, it's going to open up the offense a lot. Just the fact that we can, then the other teams are not going to be able to stack the boxes. But if I had to say that I had any concern, it's not really a concern that I would normally have, but it's just kind of what I was talking about earlier. Are they going to be able to get Bryce up to speed before week 1? And if not, can they prepare Jaden Davis to be able to run it for the first couple of weeks? Or is Mikey Keene going to come back, and can they get him up to speed? Can they get Bryce? Again, it has to be to where he can react and adapt and read and process at the speed of the game. And I think the only way to do that is to tell Wink and the defensive coaches, go at him in ball. Like, don't hit him, but go at him.
Yeah.
Like, go full speed. Don't take it easy on him. And that's the only way you're going to get him, to where he can acclimate to the college speed by week 1. That's my biggest concern, is can we do that? And if not, what are we ready to with a backup plan until he is there?
Yeah, and that's the big thing about both guys. You saw times during this game where both of the guys, the game was moving a little bit too fast for them. So you want to see, and you're waiting to see when it slows down, and you can tell when it's slowed down. Sometimes they were just moving too fast, and it would be a simple play like a wide receiver screen or something, or a running back coming out of the flat, and it's wide open, and he's missing them. We saw both quarterbacks do that.
Well, and even with Jaden Davis, I felt Jaden Davis was processing the coverages and stuff better than Bryce.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that his throwing is not as accurate as Bryce, but if they can work on that, he was processing the coverages. He was going through progressions. There were a couple times where he kind of stared down the side that he was going to throw to, but aside from those few times, I saw him going through his progressions pretty good.
And that's what's going to get him. And that's
a year in the system.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's going to make him be the starter. If he starts, it's going to be the mental side that gets him to start. It's not going to be just the physical. It's going to be the mental, because Bryce can do so much other things with his legs and his arm talent and how far he can throw it, that it's got to be mental for Jaden. Like, this guy is processing the game and slowed down. He's going through his reads. He's checking it down when he needs to. He knows when he's got the one-on-one coverage and he goes to. Jaden's got to get that mental if he wants to be the starter. I don't really care who's the starter as long as they're good. Please.
I don't want to see him put Bryce out there before he's ready. If he's not ready, don't throw him out there and force him. But I would rather ride with Keene or Jaden until he's ready. But what I'm saying though, he's playing.
Debate over.
I want him to be, but I'm just saying, like, the thing with Jaden Davis too. Some of his deep throws were a little off target, but he had a few good throws that the drop was on the receiver. Like, there was that one that I mentioned earlier where it was down the sideline. He was on point to where the receiver should have been. But Shamari Earls, I think, was the one that was covering that receiver, and he was able to slow the receiver down without getting a interference call to stop him from getting to the ball.
Who was that? Peyton O'Leary?
It wasn't. Was it Peyton O'Leary on that throw?
O'Leary did it.
He was
He
looking
had
back too
Shamari
much.
on one play, but
And he was like trying to fend him off so much that he
they went yo.
Yeah. And I think he answered it for the most part. He got beat once or twice, but his coverage was tight.
The way he got beat wasn't bad, just and what seemed to work was those intermediate passes, those quick 5-6 out.
Yeah.
These guys had fast release, especially Bryce, and that ball get there quick. Once they go past 10 yards, it wasn't what we wanted to see. But I think they're gonna iron these things out. Chip Lindsey, he's an experienced OC. He understands what it's gonna take, and he's gonna open up the playbook based on what Bryce could do, man. And this is why I tell Michigan fans, be patient, man.
And with this scheme,
Yes.
with Wink scheme,
Oh man.
that's what you take is those short routes.
Yes.
That's what we're giving them. We give you the short stuff and then hope that you're not patient enough and you try to do something you ain't have no business doing and it turns into an interception or something like that.
But I'm still gonna say some of that wasn't on Jaden. Like there were some of his throws that people were like, oh, he missed another throw. That was on the receiver, or it was good coverage that messed up the play. Like they were able to adjust with the ball in the air and able to make the play on defense, which is good. That's good for us. But he still has some work to do. As far as how Marsh did, he got targeted a couple times. He was all right. He wasn't bad. Some good, some bad. It's about what you would expect with a freshman wide receiver.
Yeah.
But in his physique, he's gonna get playing time.
Simpson is not on campus yet.
No.
So we didn't see him at all, Mark.
No, yeah, he's not there.
No, him. Bowles is not the linebacker. My man Jasper Parker, the freshman, is not. So we still got a lot of players that's not on campus yet. And when you look at,
You got a microphone in here?
Huh?
You got a microphone?
No,
They can't hear you.
Oh,
I don't
Can y'all hear
know.
Maniac? Let us know if you were hearing Maniac just now.
I'm just talking to
I don't
them.
think they can hear you.
I mean, I turned this one a little bit.
I know, but I don't think they can.
Haynes and Campbell look pretty good. They had flashes. Marshall
Yes.
had some tough yards, and that's
Cut
really what
from
I
a different cloth said that they could hear you.
The start. Now Haynes is gonna be good.
Because Marshall is what I like is the tough. These tough yards.
Hey, they're saying the mic picks up a lot. They were hearing Maniac just fine.
They said it is?
That cut.
All right,
both
never
sides.
mind. Keep going.
Yeah. No.
Tree Dog said we can hear.
Okay.
No. Just look, man. And you got to remember, you got starters from both sides, man. They're gonna be together, so it's a glorified practice, bro. That's all it is. It's a glorified practice, and you take it for what it is. That's why they didn't even cook.
Look up Kuzdal's first.
John, that's why they didn't even cook
What's
Ohio
up,
State for their spring game.
Yeah.
You know, they look good, but I said why? I
Say
said,
you.
because it's a spring game. Now, if Sane struggles against Texas week 1,
Yeah,
then I'm going to cook him.
absolutely.
And if Bryce struggles week 1, I'm going to semi-cook him.
All right, so to answer the question in chat, Bryce Kuzdal, I believe he was a walk-on,
Yo,
and I'm not gonna lie, sitting there watching him, I think I turned to someone and said, maybe we don't need CJ Hester because this guy, I mean, he was impressive. Let's just say he was impressive.
He was running hard. He was running hard like he might get cut. Like I got to show out today to make sure I don't get cut. Like that's how he was running. Hard, workman, bring your hard hat. He brought it. So shout out to him. Regardless of what happens, he was running physical today and patient. Yeah, he looked good. Even though
he had the one where he kind of tripped on the run, and you could tell he was like upset when it happened because he was like hit like smacking the ground. But aside from that trip, man, he ran pretty good today. He ran as good as any other running back today.
Yeah, he looked good today. He looked the best, honestly.
He looked like the best running back.
Yeah.
All right, so Austin's asking, do we expect any transfer portal entries after today?
So what you mean to enter?
Yeah, from our team that you think maybe got beat out, didn't have a good showing, might be looking to transfer.
It's tough because no one really stood out like, oh my God. No one had an oh my God performance.
TJ, when does the portal close?
Oh, less than a week from now.
I think the 24th.
I think it's like to the end of the April.
25th. Austin says it's the
Because it
25th.
ain't that much time left for it.
The 25th.
Well,
That's
remember,
next week.
that's just the window for them to enter. They don't have to sign during that period.
Yeah,
So,
25th. 25th.
just to enter. Moose, I'm not an Underwood hater. I like Underwood. I want him to start. I just want him to be ready. I don't want to put him. I don't think saying I want him to be ready before we put him out there means I'm a hater.
Next Underwood hater.
No, I'm not. I like Underwood. Whoa, we just got disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's happened a couple times.
What just happened?
I think that's the power.
Yeah,
Some-
just took it. Yeah.
All right.
Do you think
You want?
having Mikey King on the team?
Maniac, let's go.
All right, here we go.
It's the TJ and Maniac
All
show.
right, boys, we're gonna run this till the end.
Yeah, we're about to finish
Hey,
this.
Genetic is a fucking Underwood hater, bro.
I am not. I like Underwood. I just want him to be ready before we put him out there.
Let's switch seats so it'll be easier for you to hit that.
Hey, did you guys hear that Doreen said she's an independent? Did you guys hear that shit?
I heard it.
She's
Breaking news.
Hey,
I saw her husband's response when she
I
said,
don't, her husband was like, "What?"
Breaking
What?
news. Doreen's an independent.
Yeah, she's an independent.
"The is open."
Also, I want to share this. Doreen said privately, but we'll say it publicly. She ranks Michigan at the voice of college football third.
Well, one place she isn't going is Notre Dame.
She ranks him third in her podcast listening. So Buckeye Podcast, let it be known we run the game. All right, but anyways,
I'm really
so Maniac. We got like 7 minutes here before we're gonna close the show.
Well, thanks, Bull, saying about my mic. My mic is good. That's good. Is the other mic good?
I don't know.
TJ
I
mic
guess-
is good.
Seeing what you saw in the spring game, what are your concerns?
Many eyes. So my concerns is that
TJ's mic is not good. How's it not good? I'm talking to this mic. You in trouble?
One, that back quarterback. Just experience that quarterback. Now we do have Mikey King. I don't know. I get it.
Revenish.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, what happened?
Is our sound off? Let me know.
They said that Mike is the one that's good.
Is this one good? Let me know. Talk to me here.
Just use that.
It's coming from Jones.
Talk to me. Let me know what mic. Are we good now or no? Oh, that sound good. I hear it. I hear it.
You sound
All right. So he says now it's loud. My bad. I don't know, boys. We're doing our best here.
that back quarterback, right? We definitely need a backup kicker, right? Because God forbid anything happens to the GOAT, Zavada, bro, we're gonna have to go for it on 4th down every time. It just didn't look good. Offense needs work. Let's just call it. Like
Yeah.
this.
Let's call. All right. How about this? Let's call it like it is.
Offense.
Can I be real?
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen a little more out of the offense.
Okay.
But I understand it's spring game, so you can't expect that much, you know. But it would have been nice to see a little more. And we did see Underwood look like a freshman.
Yes.
But we also saw Underwood look like a damn phenom,
Yes.
you know?
And you know you're gonna get that, right? Because he's a generational talent. So he's only 17, man. He's a child. He's an adolescent. So you have to understand that there's gonna be mistakes there. There's gonna be hiccups, and these are the kind of games that you want to fix that. Now they go back, TJ, to the drawing board. They look at film. So talk to me, Bryce. What were you looking at here? Or Lil Boom Bang Bing? And we gonna cook, man. We gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, man.
I've been going at it.
My man, TJ, he feeling nice.
Yeah, nicey. And we going out tonight too, bro.
Yeah,
so,
we
we're gonna get lit.
They dragging me out again. My bedtime is 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I gotta do it with my brothers, man. We out here.
We on vacation, bro.
Yes.
All right. Anyways, though, I'll say this though: the defense looks good. It looks really good. I was actually impressed by the DBs. Maniac's right. The Metcalf's brothers look. They're gonna be value, man. They're gonna be fucking value. But I will say this: I would have liked to have seen a little more pressure, but maybe that's just a sign of the offensive line being good, you know.
Correct, and that's what we want to see, right? Because all right, what will be in general, not what you saw from today in general, week 1. What would be your concern going into week 1?
Left tackle
There you go.
and potentially wide receiver.
Okay. And those are legitimate.
That's it.
I think you hit it You hit it right on the nose there. And I guess that will put it under the O-line, right? The O-line, how fast can they gel as a unit, right? And if they could protect Bryce, then forget about it. But if they not really protecting Bryce and he's back there running for his life, you know, that's where a lot of concerns are going to happen.
Hey, where we at on super chats? Where'd you guys last read? I want to make sure we get these.
We did. Let me see. Let me read it. I remember
The
them.
last one I did.
Did you get 23
Yeah,
tails?
we got that. We read that. That was me, amazed man.
You got GT. Did you get?
He did all GT.
Did you get this one?
Dom?
Beverage contribution. Hit the like button. Did you guys get that?
I don't know. No, Dom. Again.
Did we get Marmar and Garrison got the wrong address?
Yeah, that was the last one he did. Yeah.
Where the fuck was Garrison, bro?
Hiding.
Disappointing, Garrison.
Oh, wow.
Wolverine Casual $2 super chat. O-line thoughts. How did we miss out on Cotton? That's crazy. So word was Cotton was going to demand about $1 million. I don't know what happened, man. He went to Cincinnati. I don't know. That don't make sense to me. You know,
that's
like it to me. I mean, I'm all right. Here's a concern I have that I'll share publicly: is Michigan willing to solve the biggest hole on the roster? And if they're not, to me, that's a problem.
Huge.
Because left tackle is the biggest hole on the fucking roster.
Absolutely.
Fill it.
And on top of that, TJ, that's your $12 million investments blindside.
Yeah, like what are we doing? Like, and we know if you give your offensive line time, the receivers will get open, hopefully.
Absolutely.
You know?
Hopefully. No, they'll get separation.
Yeah.
I think, believe it or not, this offensive unit is good. They're not elite. It's not an elite.
It'll be top 50. It'll be top 50.
Yes, they're good. And I think it's gonna be good enough to where again they can't load the box. And if we get a light box, defense is playing with a light box, I expect Marshall and Hayes to eat a lot, man. Trust me, because these guys can make the tough runs. Now I know we were talking over there, TJ. You weren't too satisfied with Hayes, right? Well, I mean, why not? To me, why he had about 4 or 5 carries?
I don't know. But I don't know, but it wasn't, you know, even Marshall wasn't,
Yeah,
you know.
I think Hayes had better runs than Marshall did. But again, it was limited. It was in limited time, so we can't really assess too much. But they're going to be dogs, man. The only thing is they just, you know, small in size, but it don't matter because, you know, Blake Corum. In fact, Blake Corum was there. Shout to Blake Corum. Michael Barrett was there. Chris Jenkins.
Chase
Kenneth
Winovich.
Grant.
Chase Winovich.
Mason Graham. Chase Winovich. I mean, they were all out. Trent Jones. Shout to Trent Jones. Me and Kinetic was chopping it up with him, man. Good dude. Bro, what a day. What a day.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So at the end of the day, this was a good trip for us.
Yes.
We had a good time.
Yes.
Especially getting to meet everybody.
Yeah, it was good to meet everybody. We saw a lot of people. It was good. It was really good. And I want to give a shout out to Hailgate, honestly, because they didn't need to allow it. They brought us in with open arms and then said, look, you want to make this a meetup point, you can. And we did. We met up with a bunch of people. Shout out to Timothy. Met your family. That was nice, brother.
Yeah, Timothy.
You know, shout out to everyone who we linked up with today. That was nice, you know. Shout out to our guy, formerly in was it Wolverine, formerly in Ohio?
Yes, yes.
Shout out to you last night with your brother. I believe it's Peyton.
And they showed up today too.
Yeah. So shout out to you guys as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So regarding tonight, we are going out. I'm gonna get some water in me.
Man, look,
I'm gonna get some Gatorade.
TJ need a nap. He just need.
We all right. Hey, we go.
He need a little. They need like a 40-minute.
We'll figure it out. I don't know if you want. You want wings?
I want wings.
What wings from where?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Where's the best place, the best wings in town?
All right, hold on. We got some super chats.
All right.
All right, so we got $5 super chat. Wolverine Casual. Bryce 12 of 27. What were those incompletions, drops, plays? Were the cadence because of pressure?
Overthrows.
Yeah. I mean, there was overthrows. There were some drops.
There were some drops. True.
I mean,
Fred Moore.
this is all right. This was my concern, though, boys. You got to allow Bryce to acclimate to the game.
Yes.
This is why I had my Mikey Keene. Shut up, motherfucker. We all had me and you. Actually, all right, I'll say this respectfully. Me and Kinetic both were in a similar position here where we were saying Mikey Keene should begin and Bryce should be eased into it. And And I'm not saying that Bryce can't come into this and crush, because he can. But we saw today a 17-year-old behind center, bro.
And he showed his
And this is what I mean. And then when you have a left tackle who ain't no good, that could be a problem. Now, I don't want to say that. Let me just, all right, I'm sorry.
No, that's the truth.
When you have a left tackle that's a potential liability,
There you go.
that's a problem, bro.
Huge problem.
You know?
Especially with a true freshman starting. And my thing is this, guys, I get it. Get rid of that super chat.
Yeah, we got Michael DeVries here. Despite the talent level, a freshman will make fresh. Exactly.
Yes.
So that's the perfect super chat.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. And listen, nobody came at me for my Mikey Keene position, but like that's my position. It's just like I think he needs to be eased into this. I do think he will earn it sooner than later. He's obviously the better quarter. Like he's obviously special.
Yes.
You see that. You do. You see it, and he looks it. But when it's live and when that offensive line is questionable, but let's also stress this: that offensive line today was makeshift.
Yeah.
That's not the real offensive line.
Correct.
And he's going against good defense. Like Michigan's defense is going to be better than New Mexico.
Oh,
which is, it is what it is there, right? So it's one of those things where it is what it is. We're just going to have to see how it goes. But I do have confidence in Bryce. Yeah. But we saw a 17-year-old today.
Yes. And you know what? On that stance regarding the Mikey Keene, right? And I'm all for the veteran, right? Because, listen, experience matters. Now, some people are standing on I don't care, just throw him in the fire, let him learn on the job. Okay, I'm whatever the coaching staff, but Mikey Keene, to me, is the perfect bridge for Bryce. Now, some people, they like, nope, give me Bryce from week one. Okay, so don't be the same ones crying and complaining if he's struggling. I don't want to hear it from you because you're the ones asking for it. So you better be patient. And just like the super chat from Michael DeVries, he hit it on the nose.
Yeah.
Man. So
we got another $5 super chat from Wolverine Casual. Bryce's interception looked like a route that was given up on. If that shit happens again, I'm going to lose my shit, Bellamy. I'd say this though. I'm looking forward to watching the replay with everybody next week. And then we can give it an even better analysis on it. Because I'll be real. It is hard to see the game within the game when it's live.
Correct.
As I was following the ball a lot. And I know there were some people around me talking about like, oh, did you see what happened at left tackle? Did you see what happened at this position? And it was hard to follow all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a flag. Yeah, so let me see that. Maniac, grab it.
Yeah. So look, man, read something someone put there, and we know that. What they built. They said, don't let Michigan spring game distract you from the fact that Michigan threw for 62 yards against the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes in Columbus and still won as a 21-point underdog. So yeah, OSU fans, just shut up, please. You couldn't even beat Davis Warren, who threw for 62 yards. And based on what Bryce did, we might beat you by 6 touchdowns. So yeah, worry about that.
Wolverine Casual is not wrong. Bryce Underwood has had 13. I think it's 14 practices now, but whatever. 13, 14. I don't know. Yeah. We're making it work.
We're about to wrap it up.
Yeah. So
you don't never wrap it up.
At the end of the day,
no, I don't laugh.
Just make sure she's on the pill, dog.
He's saying I'm a maniac.
In many ways.
In many ways. You're a maniac.
You see the M right here. It only stands for Michigan. It's a maniac here.
So that's where we are, boys. Hey, so we are at the 2-hour mark, and I know we did get a bunch of super chats. So I do want to give a shout out to everybody who gave us super chats. We appreciate you. We are going to wrap it up though, due to just like the complexity of like trying to make this thing work with everybody. But just be on the lookout for the next post game from Michigan at the Voice of College Football for next Saturday. I don't know if Maze is going to do one or Johnny or
should we do a watch party?
Fuck no, not me. I don't do those.
For the spring game. When they tell them.
I mean, I'll do it.
Kinetic's always down for a watch party. But
I'm like the only one of the group that's like, hey,
I see we got an OSU weirdo in the chat. It's, no.
I just kidding. I had my Garrison. I'm just fucking with you, bro.
This dude.
Is it
This
Garrison?
dude. Leroy. Hold on. We're going to put you on the spot. You cheated. You one of those, Leroy.
Hold on. Let
You
me see.
cheated, Leroy. You still crying. Mommy. Mama, they
All right.
cheated.
Hey, Leroy, what happened? What happened from 1979 to 1999? How many wins did you get?
Yeah.
6.
No. You can't bring that part up.
Sit the
DJ.
fuck down.
We're not allowed to bring that part up. The rivalry started in 2001. 2001. Hey, listen, y'all see that your trophy will be back where it belongs. You crying, man. Go get a pacifier. Put your Pampers on, man. You still crying, fucking babies.
Facts.
Anyway, so all right, we're gonna sign out. Hey, all right, so here's the deal. Pistons play at 6:00 tonight. Detroit basketball, let's fucking get it. But we're gonna be going out tonight. So what we're doing is if you pay attention to the socials, we'll update where we are. We'll be going out and about on the town. We're definitely going to Skeeps. Definitely going to what's the other one, John?
Rick's.
We're definitely going to Rick's. Be on the lookout for that. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone we met with tonight. Appreciate everyone watching the channel. Appreciate everyone super chatting. Appreciate everyone liking the video, sharing the video. Shout out to Doreen. Shout out to her husband. Shout out to the Buckeyes who are hate watching. We appreciate you too. And we're gonna
hold on. Garrison, you owe me a steak and a beer, brother.
yeah, Garrison, I'm gonna be real, Garrison. You let us down, bro.
You was a no call, no show.
Yeah, bro.
You getting written up.
We expected more out of you, brother.
We were ready.
Back, how you had Doreen here, bro?
Yeah.
She a gangster.
And honestly, Doreen, bro, carrying your fan base, bro. Like
Doreen and Buckeyes battle.
and her husband came out scarlet red,
He came out
decked out, and you know what? It was all love.
It was all love.
All
because
fucking love,
that's
dude.
why we do
I
it,
respect that. You come to enemy territory and you bring that, you know what? You have my respect.
man. Yes.
You know?
But anyway, we signing out,
Yeah.
man. Thanks for tuning in. This was the live chat right after the spring game. Stadium right behind us. You see the helmet right there. You see the belts right there. Because Michigan is champions all the time, every time. OSU, F you.
F you, bro. Hey, and as you know,
Mic drop.
it's always
Go blue.
that's right, baby.
See you next